Greetings everybody, and welcome to Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux here on G4G. You know me as Napalm Dawn, you know the game as Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux, based off of the original game Marvel Avengers Alliance that existed from 2012 to 2016. Typical disclaimer as we get into Thursday night fights over here, there is no ETA on Beta 6. There will not be a mobile version. The version you see me playing is 5.9, which is for closed beta testers only. It will not be made available to the public. The next available public version will be Beta 6, and Beta 5.2 is linked down below. That is what you can download and play. It has several of the missions in Season 1, several of the chapters. It also has Spec Ops number 1, where you can recruit Mockingbird by 5-starring every mission in the Spec Ops. That was the only Spec Ops where Playdom had that be the win condition. Talked to some of the developers today. Things are still going good with Beta 6. There are groups within the developers that have completed their tasks, so it is looking pretty good over there, no matter what idiots may say in the comments down below. So the notepad is going to be stuck on the screen over here to hide the conditional of the tournament before this one. So in case you don't know the announcements, when you're doing PvP in Beta 6, Season 1 does not have a conditional. You can use anybody, any uniform, etc., etc. After that, the PvP seasons have a condition that you need to meet, like whether it be an association, like X-Men, X-Factor, Fantastic Four, Inhumans, things like that, or maybe class-based, like Tacticians Only, or Scrappers Only. And there may, of course, be other conditionals that will pop up throughout the PvP seasons, and of course there will be some that do not have conditionals. The team has promised us that they will never make a conditional that has a low amount of people, so you're never going to see a Fantastic Four only season because you have such a limited amount of people for it. However, that being said, remember when Redux drops, there are going to be associations that the team deems worthy or actually proper that Playdom did not do. Plus, when you get into the characters that they are going to be adding to the game themselves, you may see small groups from Season 1 and Season 2 grow quite a bit when Season 3 drops and everything. So today we're going to get into this episode. I'm still running the Bruiser Agent. I have Tactician Magneto, and I have Blaster Storm. You can see the Spark Plugger, the Savant Spear, the Rook, and the Construct Matrix. What we're going for here is a pretty defensive agent, and we're going to leave it up to mostly Magneto to be doing the damage. Storm is going to be protecting. Magneto may put up his shield, but it's a very shield-heavy team, and this could have been something that may have worked on PvP defense back in the day, but we are using it as sort of a bit of a slowed-down PvP team today. Storm was used last week, however, she is going to fit this particularly well with all of her support abilities when she gets her Elemental Mastery going. So let's go ahead and get into it. I have not tried this team yet, so I don't know how it's going to work. The Rook, of course, is from the chess set, the Pawn is from the chess set and works good with like the Rook and everything, as it feeds ammo into the Rook, which allows it to fire multiple shots. Rescue would be a good one to team up with Magneto in the future because they like Magnetize. The agent doesn't really have much that you can do with Magnetize now. And things like the Pneumatic Nailer, I used to like to joke and call it the Pneumatic Penailer, fills the enemies with lead, which does make them more susceptible to the Magnetized. We have a Tactician over there. We have a Bruiser. So we know the Bruiser's going to protect. It's always very, very interesting to think of Storm in the beginning, because if she's Tactician, then she has to worry about infiltrators. That would be Psylocke. If she's a Blaster, you got to worry about Tacticians. That'll be Emma. Opening up with a catastrophic, chilled AoE that isn't stealthy is a bit iffy. However, that means Magneto would have to do the shielding to protect the team. I think I'll do with it. I think I'll get it out there and have to deal with Emma. But remember, PvP is not going to be a cakewalk, no matter the fact that you are only dealing with, controlled teams. I mean, of course, back in the day, we're not fighting anybody live, but you were doing user-created teams. The teams that you face have been created by the content development team to very closely match what you would have seen in PvP in the day. So it's really going to simulate what it was like in Season 1, and Season 2, and Season 3, etc. Magneto, of course, was resistant to Emma because of his helmet. Let's go ahead and try to go offensive, because my agent still has some things that he could do for shields. So let's go ahead and try and stun the enemy agent over there. God, that is such a big hit. I mean, you people probably remember the PTSD from watching Magneto pick up that engine and throw it back in the PvP days. It was extremely vicious. We cannot get the Savant Sphere to generalize Emma over there, or generalize Psylocke, because the agent's protecting. But we can do a Spark Plugger shield. And the agent is almost dead and will probably die to the chilled. Perfect. So, we have Elemental Mastery up. Let's try the Shroud. Psylocke recharges. He roasted Emma. Or actually fried her would be the way to go. I'm going to use the Generalizing Spear so that Magneto doesn't have to worry about Psylocke, but chances are he's just going to straight up crush her no matter what. Wow, and so is my agent. The side bolts are hitting pretty hard. Good lord. Oh, wow. Okay, this team is putting out more damage than I predicted they would do. The Rook is in my hand because of my PvE agent is running that gear. That's not actually part of the PvP kit. It's just a visual bug over there. But, okay, really surprising. The team knocked that one out of the park. I thought Magneto was going to be the one doing a ton of damage, and Storm and the Agent were just going to be backing him up. We don't have any Tacticians, so we can definitely open up with the Mastery. Havok is scary. If you remember last week, that Havok certainly put in a ton of work. I don't have the chance of getting to him before he goes, because it's my Agent and then Havok. And unfortunately, the Agent over there is protecting, so the best that I can do is a pawn shield, and then the shield from the Spark Plugger by going for the Agent and getting enraged, which will hopefully help me resist Havok if he goes straight to a Plasma Wave. He does a Shattering Punch, which would break her shields. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and do the Magneto shield. Alright, well, Captain Britain recharges. Let's go ahead and do Protective Shroud. The Agent might die to the chill. Yeah, okay. Now we can go ahead and do some work. I think the best thing to do would be to generalize Havok. which should make... Oh boy, here we go. What's gonna happen? Oh, yes! That's what you want to see. That's why the protective shroud was up. That is us laughing in Havok's face. That is a revenge for last week, and there's protective shroud again. This is what I thought the team would do, where Storm and the Agent are really good at protecting themselves, and Magneto does the majority of the damage, but this one is relatively slow. We've had Magneto do the shield, we've had Storm do the defensives. Yeah, this is working out very well. And then we're just gonna throw that. Boonk. God, that is such a beast move. So Magneto will be recruitable via lockboxes, as you would expect. Lockboxes will work the same, where you get tasks to get lockboxes, usually 10 at a clip. And then, of course, you can go ahead and buy them from the store for gold. You know, if they used to drop in a specific Spec Ops, they'll be dropping in that Spec Ops and everything. So, you know, you will be able to get Magneto and Juggernaut and all of that. And since the lockboxes stay in the store, if you run out of tasks to give you lockboxes and everything, you absolutely can just go ahead and buy them, and they stay for infinity, so you will never miss out on anything the way you did in the original game. Okay, we have a blaster over there, so that is good for Magneto. Nobody's going to be magnetic over there other than the Agent, because nobody carries metal. Reflexive Flash is because of the passive on that suit. Let's go ahead, and since we already have an attack out, let's go with the shield. This is a blend of offense and defense that we're doing here on this one. Very interesting. My Agent got his bruiser benefit simply because Quicksilver did his passive where he jumps into time. I'm gonna have to report that one to the team. That's a little bit odd. That should not be happening. Okay, so there's Elemental Mastery. Storm has been pretty on point with her openers. We've been lucky that we can do that. I mean, we suffered the Wrath of Emma in the one, but so far so good. And Momentum Generator Quantum Jumper is really good, but the Magneto shield holds. Of course, Psylocke sets up for the Psionic Shadow, so they're starting to get ready over there. The Agent does not protect and will probably die to chilled, so I want to Spark Plug Quicksilver and get a little extra shield going on my Agent. There's a War Frenzy over there, so there's an Axe. The 1 Mile Punch gets a little bit of shield. Oof, okay. Quicksilver's trying to carry the team over there. Psylocke recharges. You'll notice the class benefits are sometimes a little wonky. Magneto did not get his tactical benefit for attacking the blaster. He's considered exhausted, but it should have expired at that point. A little protective shroud. I think this will work if I do it again. Sometimes QAs are a little iffy 2 turns in a row. Okay, it's working. He is single enraged, so yeah, alright. Could have gone ahead and generalized Psylocke, but let's throw an engine. Good lord! Wow. That is one of the heaviest hits we've seen in this series outside of Havok's Plasma Wave that we saw recently. That's... God, 10k on an Infiltrator is massive. 3 down, 2 to go. No Tactician, so yep. Elemental Mastery. And we have everybody is magnetized over there, so you know what? Maybe this time we're going to open up with the Magneto AoE. You guys deserve to see it. We deserve to have a little extra flair here. Assault rifled. Defense experiment. You know, I'm kind of thinking the pawn would work out really, really well with the Emerald Prism when it becomes available. I would like, because look at the oh my god, look at the defense. I really want to get the chance to try like a tanking agent, the Emerald Prism, and the pawn at some point. See how it goes. All right, Magneto, time for some AoE. Give us a little bit of a different look from you. Pretty good. Agent has enough health to get the quantum jumper. However, it makes Mockingbird... Oh my god, he suicided his team. Those extra turns just basically meant more chilled ticking down on them. Super, super fun match on that one. That one was, that was a little easy peasy. Alright, so here's number 5. And we get Thor and Valkyrie. We're familiar with this team over the last couple weeks. It's the first time we've seen them. They do have a tactician over there. He is going to protect. So this is where decisions can be made. They should be magnetized. Everybody's carrying metal. I could open up with the stun, or I could open up with the shield. Let's try to do the stun. Could have also done the AoE. Oh my god, that was absolutely worth it. Big time worth. Except for that. Now it's not worth it anymore. Okay, Monstrosity is just intimidated. Oh, but I think the Monstrosity is supposed to make them unstunnable, yet I stun them. I don't know if that's a passive or an active. Let's just attack the enemy agent. Oh god, stupid Valkyrie. Thor recharges. Valkyrie's you know what? Let's open up with the AoE. Here's why. Because if I go to attack the agent, Valkyrie will probably step in. Still leaves a tactician there. Storm's turn is coming up. I think we should do the AoE. Everybody is magnetized on the enemy team. I think it will kill the agent Valkyrie. Let's roll the dice. Yup. Yup. Now we have a bruiser victimized by a blaster. I don't think we need the protective shroud. I think we should just go for straight single target damage. And there we go. Bob's your uncle. Okay, folks, this was a really fast one. It went way better than I thought it would. I kind of expected a slower set of matches over here as Storm spent a lot of time kind of building up the elemental mastery and then the protective shroud and then did the tornado to buff it and everything like that. Maybe Magneto would be spending turns doing his Magneto shield, which is not a quick action until E-ISOs come around. By the way, don't forget, Snappy Service is one of the best ISOs ever in the game. It turns buff actions into quick actions if they were not already a quick action. Here's something that I think the team could do for an E-ISO down the stretch. An advanced form of Snappy Service that turns an action into a free action. Turns like a buff into a free action or something like that. Could be fun, but remember, free actions got changed. They don't mean as much as they used to. It used to be you could do any number of free actions in a turn that you wanted to. You never got exhausted. They never really expired unless that action had a cooldown. However, If you don't remember it, there was a prism. No. It was a fantastic shield. It was a shield based on the Fantastic Four, where it was a free action, and you could keep implying it through infinity because it used very, very little stamina. And I think it even restored stamina. And if you use that ISO that says buff actions restore stamina, you could go to infinity. And I was the first one to say, because I was playing the game, got that thing to drop, tried it once, and it knew immediately what could happen. You could set up a defensive agent with a bunch of special functionality things like Cosmic Cardinals and all, Hugin's Eye, all that, and just use that fantastic shield and just apply it and apply it and apply it and apply it and apply it, and you would get the game basically in an infinite loop, and whoever was fighting you would probably just have to leave, or in the interest of time, leave instead of watching you see if your actions resolved. They fixed that pretty quick afterwards. I was one of the only people that I know of that ever called that out and went, oh my god, this is going to be a real bitch. Never saw anybody use it. Never saw anybody try it. Unlike a bunch of the other bugs that were out there. So, there we go. There is Thursday night fights. I think we're maybe on episode 15 at this point, but there's Magneto and Storm, kind of designed to be a fairly defensive and slower PvP team, and they murdered Face. Not really too much challenge in these 5, except for, honestly, Quicksilver. All the stuff that Quicksilver was doing seemed to be punching through the shield and causing damage, and we laughed at Havok, which is sweet, sweet revenge for last week. So shout outs to Chick Canyon and all the others that are routinely watching these videos every Thursday. I appreciate you guys coming by the channel and watching the videos, and I will catch you on Twitch Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and if not, I will see you back here next Thursday for Friday Night Fights. Have a good weekend and a good week, everybody.